Hello. I just wanted to finish what I was doing, and I wanted to go live. But even though I got my lovely subscribers up yesterday, it's still not letting me, so maybe it takes 24 hours. But thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed. I really appreciate it, and I wanted to kind of finish off a little bit of the case study that I was working with. And I'm glad in some ways that we had a little break, because things have changed, and that's always how it works. So I'm just going to light a candle for us now to bring us into this space, because we're going to do some work in that field. And this is a lovely candle. It reminds me of my beautiful person who loves frankincense and myrrh. So bringing that in. And I've already cleared the energies, and I'm going to bring in the cacao as well to drop me into my heart space as we do this work. Yeah, it's been really interesting. I did a couple of the aura scans, and they were both really great, and everything was fine, you know, nothing too scary or off really. And then today there was quite a big dip in the solar plexus energy, and it's gone to 59%, and the sacral energy at 57%. So a real dip there, and it's really helping us to get that awareness that we do change and fluctuate quite quickly with our energetic field. And just, you know, 24 hours, not even 24, but can make a massive difference there. So the good thing is, because we've caught this, I can vibrate the frequencies into her aura to harmonize what's going on. And it really seemed like in the solar plexus, it was a little bit of, you know, decisions, demands, responsibility, freedom, the feeling of like a greater self-esteem, the greater I am, and feeling valuable, whether she's on her own or with people. And that was really important. I think that that's a great thing to look at right now. How valuable are we placing ourselves as well? How much attention are we placing to our own self-esteem and our own well-being? And then that does deplete us when we don't. So this, especially the solar plexus energy, which is that center, which will really take away anyone's power, basically. Yes, it's the energy center. It's the like the yellow center of the sun, right? So this is, you know, the central core here. And of course, I don't know about in other parts of the world. I've got quite a few subscribers all over now. But it's been sunny here because it's been snowing, it's been icy, and I'm just going for my chia blend. The yellow uplift blend. I just felt like that needed to come in. So we'll bring in the essence of chia into the aura, into the energy field. And it's so lovely. This is one of my favourite blend. I think there's a couple, balance and chia probably are the favourites. So yeah, it's been a really interesting time for people at the moment, where we had that blast of the sun, the winter sun, and now we've actually got quite a greyish day again as it decides whether it's going to snow or not. My cat is just absolutely desperate to get in, because of course it isn't very nice. So I'm just going to let her in. Come on. They've been in and out all day long, and this is how it is in the winter time. Anyway, she's in. So actually, I've got my lovely cup of cacao, which I can grab here too, and come to this place to bring in the energies before we go further with our scanning. So really interesting also because we can use the cacao to balance the chakras as well as we drink. And I'm drinking for you. I'm taking this for you guys, you know, shifting everybody who can't have it right at the moment. I'm gonna use this to drop in my heart space, and obviously that changes the vibration for you guys too. So I'm just gonna take in, and I'm gonna bring in this essence of the light. I did a Christ light activation with my masters yesterday. I felt really called to, and the amount of people who are working with Christ light at the moment is quite incredible. So yeah, that definitely came in. So with this first sip, we are the light. And with this second sip, we are one with the light. And with this third sip, we are the light. So, bringing that down the chakras, bringing that feeling down. The higher chakras were fine. All high chakras above the heart and below were not so great. So we had the sacral, root and solar plexus that were just a bit off. So in the root, it was wanting us to feel more trust. It was wanting us to have trust in life, and it was wanting to bring in this feeling of harmony and safety, balancing those in. It was also suggesting that she's no longer willing to be taken advantage of, which is always a massive tick in the box. And she's leaving conflict behind. It's a time of change, and it's also a time of her to come into her independence. So we know that there's something going on. There's a shift here, and I've not checked in personally. I've not had any feedback, so this is all remote work. But I'm sure it'll all come clear. And it is asking her to stand up for her values, herself and her destiny right now, which is really great. There was also, in one of the other scans, this feeling of being guilty here. And guilt is just an energy, and that might not be hers in the homeopathic scan, which this is where it showed up. Yeah, it might not be hers. She might just have taken that on or be processing that for somebody else. So it might just be a really old wound also. So that showed up a few times over the last few weeks that I've been working on this lady. And there was also this like scars of the soul being blocked and also being well grounded. So almost like the grounding of these scars like was stopping this growth and expansion, because it is showing as well that there's an element of like being a little bit stuck in some ways, in a spiritual way, let's say that. So all the other elements, the physical, mental, emotional, in some ways, you know, those are okay. But it's this other side which is really difficult to balance when you haven't got the 4 pillars, spiritual, emotional and mental and physical, all balanced. So what's missing in the spiritual is showing up in the physical body. What's, you know, kind of like it's intermingled here. So if we don't address it or see it, it shows up in the physical body, and we'll go into that a little bit more. but the physical body is, you know, the deepest manifestation. So you want to catch things on the aura, you want to catch it on the energetic field, but ideally before it even comes into the physical body first. And that's something that I really stand by at the moment. I essentially am a body worker. I have been a body worker for many years now, and I release trapped you know, emotions, pain, trauma, whatever from the body in that way. But I want to work, and have been called to work on this energetic field, so it's not getting into the body. So this is how we're working. Unfortunately for this client, we're going backwards because it's already manifested in the physical with chronic fatigue, burnout, and a lot of pain in the physical body. So yeah, it's a real, you know, shame. She's an absolutely lovely lady, as we said, and it just doesn't fit in with, you know, the way she is right now. So we're trying to work backwards. And so I am looking now. We did a birch flower as well, but I might well do another one because, again, things have shifted at this moment in time. So there is this lost vitality, resignation, apathy, indifference that's coming in, that the wild rose would support. It wasn't like the highest read, it wasn't screaming out that this person like desperately needed it. So, which is a good thing in some ways, but I'm just going to, as we are dropping into the energy field now, even deeper, I'm going to do another birch flower, see if that gives us any more. So just coming into her energetic field. Okay, yeah, so it's not the highest again, which is great. So it's not, I've had some of these which are 80 odd %, and this is 57, the top one. So it's not like definitely go get this, you know. It's more like an awareness when it's about 50, middle 50s. But she has got this part that's come in where we've got a little bit of escaping into daydreams and fantasies. I mean, it is Friday. So maybe it's like, you know, come on, time, do what you need to do. But again, this lost vitality, resignation, apathy, indifference and apathy has come up again. So that's shown up twice in her energy fields, that she needs a little bit of support with that. And actually, again, today, hadn't before, but this lack of self-confidence, the larch and birch flower just popped up there. And it, yeah, so there's definitely something that's gone on that's impacted her energy today, or very recently. Let's just have a little look at the salts and just see. And what I'm going to do in our next installment is put all my findings into the coaching and bring that into a little bit of a conclusion. So yeah, she's got a little bit of this indecisiveness, disorientation going on at the moment. So it's asking her to be mindful of herself and one's environment and live in this awakened state, being present in the moment. So not going out of herself, which is what the other one suggested, that she was escaping into daydreams. It does want her to come into herself, and this is a little bit higher. And this is where it's sitting in the bones, the skin and the gastrointestinal tract. So bearing in mind, we talked about the solar plexus, that's no surprise actually. And I did just leave her a message because the homeopathic remedy that is for the scars of the soul also mentioned about skin. So yeah, there might be a little bit of impact on the skin at the moment, and actually that one is a lot higher. So that is 64%. So we've gone into the 60s there. So it is wanting her to find her inner centre, supporting the ability to balance her inner and outer world, promoting self-determination and freedom. So freedom had also showed up in the solar plexus as well. So it just shows that all these things are connected completely. Again, this is in the field of joints, connective tissue and cartilage, where I know she has a lot of trouble in the joints, and that's calcium sulfate. That's one of the salts. She's also got this inner restlessness due to unprocessed stress, which is not a surprise really. When we do the ascension work, we understand that if we don't process our stress, it literally is just sitting there as a block. So this is giving us a little bit more of an indication. This could be the soul block also in some ways. Maybe there's been a disconnect and there needs to be a soul retrieval on this, and that could be something that we look at and signpost for. So yeah, really interesting. Again, this is in the field of the skin, the respiratory organs and the thyroid gland. But it is asking her for lasting inner peace and serenity, which also came up in her scan on the root chakra, about this harmony really. Deep trust in life, safety, harmony. Similar vein really with this scan. And yeah, again, inner pressure and lack of self-esteem. So that's shown up on a few scans at this moment in time. So it's the zinc chloride that's shown up, and it's asking her to just grow in that ability to strengthen her self-esteem. Promoting the courage to make mistakes. And I think that this is a really important piece for humans, isn't it? I don't know where down the line we were told that we could never make mistakes, usually the parents or the teachers or all of the above, religion. But you know, when we look at the spiritual side of it and the soul, it is all about making mistakes. It is all about you know, learning from them, and that's your soul journey, rather than, oh, don't make any mistakes, because if you don't make any mistakes you can't learn or grow. That took me a long time to kind of really drop in here, but yeah, this is definitely impacting the self-esteem on this level. So yeah, having that courage to make these mistakes and knowing that you are loved, like regardless of your perceived status or perceived like purity of not making any mistakes, or any judgment that you would put on yourself. You are loved regardless of those judgments. And this is asking her to be alone with herself, which also came up in the aura scan, about feeling here we go, valuable even when she's alone. And that is also in the field of the immune system, nerves and skin. So skin's literally showed up on every one of these scans here. And that is our barrier really as well. That's our layer of protection from the outside world. So potentially, yeah, there might be a little bit of an infiltration there. So she's torn inside without drive. So almost like it's this decision making, this guidance, this direction, which came up in the solar plexus also. But it's asking her to get back to her social contacts, and that came up in a homeopathic scan also. It was about her getting the desire for community, not being isolated. So really promoting building of trust in one's and going in one's own way and developing positive morals. So it seems like there's a question at the moment where, you know, is she wanting to follow this path or this other path, and she's got to make that decision from her heart, from her morals, from her moral compass, however your guide is telling you. Also, that is in the field of the skin, mucous membranes and the heart. So really interesting. I love how this has showed up like interconnected today. let's just do, because I'm really called to see if that's showing up in some of the meridians in the bioenergetic harmony. Because of everything showing up on the skin, it's making me wonder what might have been infiltrated. So let's just have a little look here. No surprise, intestine harmony is 69% and so much higher than the others. So potency is 52, eye harmony 48, nerve harmony 47, and just at the bottom like a little bit of hormones, but really intestine harmony 69%. So a lot of things are showing up in her gut right now, which is really interesting, isn't it? I hope this is helpful for her, because I don't think that many people make this brain gut connection. So let's just have a little look. I'll probably find out that she's got this lovely bug or something, won't I? Okay, head harmony, that's interesting, and that's 66%, so quite high, and prostate